I tossed one in the Space Force today. I feel every once in a while I like to toss one into a few recruiters. Usually locally, but every once in a while the thought comes up. Do you toss it out to somebody out there like the Horseman Code or the Chessboard or something like that, some recruiter? And you come back in here with the black body problem and all of the saltity sharp stuff that comes in with Gramaph and the dark side of the AI. Their cognitive decoherence. Do you know I'm testing you? Do you know that this is a marshmallow milgram's experiment in Mouse Ecotopia? This one, the chessboard, the ball. There you should be on a pain train. Most students, I'm all for the positive field charge and a discrete distribution using binomial, polynomial. Well, anyway, secant, cosecant, sine, cosine. You're going to need to find. It's a weird one with teachers when it comes to sine and cosine, because generally you would say the teacher's mistake is the prime derivative, but you got to two-phase it because as a student you might have gotten a question right, but that doesn't mean that you got the whole college thesis NP complete yet as far as why that one murder button is so critical on yellow phase compartmentalization of your cat card and Oppenheimer signing it in. Everybody gets a circus. So that was my note in here. The goal, long term here. I'm not much of the programmer. YouTube is working fine for me. I got a long way to go before I get into this terminal and make it do anything as far as JavaScript and Java, Python, which is I'm going to start working on more today. That's today's goal. Spent the last 3 or 4 days of the week, we'll call the second week, trying to crack this thing. But when I get locked up and beat up, I'll switch off to the chessboard, or I'll switch off to the ball, or the Dalport Daily, the Dalport Daily is the biggest one when it comes to my stone mill numbers. And I've said this before, I'm using this as my training hub. Swiffer says Call of Duty. Just whatever comms we have. If I have a walkie-talkie, a cell phone, and a landline, snail mail, we'll make it happen. It may be protracted, but it's protracted to the level of gravity that those lines are undeniable, because I don't know if you can tighten it. I mean, I'm not saying you couldn't tighten the button or the body or the button. That's a pretty tight line. As far as everything you need to make that web page work. My fingers maybe. But you got a button. The button works. Takes you to a page. When I get to, if I wanted to put it on the internet using GitHub, I would definitely be doing the videos while I was doing it. But I could get it in there until I felt comfortable about this drill, putting it in the tool shed. I'm in the stone mill. That's just the way it is. I don't feel comfortable about tearing apart the skid steer. I'm not. I'll take it to a mechanic. That's what that is. There is no doctrine in the mass gap about why I was supposed to do that with or without any of the reasonings high or low. Here I'm just trying to stay under the bar of the square root on high or low in that in the particle subatomic, atomic, molecule, so on and so forth. You're just under the recruiter who's ever given even if it's the rookie's day to give breaths, you got to keep it right under there, even though you might have to peek it up there and be like, nope, can't do that. Saw's run, I'll drop. No. The high and low, you're trying everything for your A series. So, and that puts it back to the Explorer, or what is that? 7-bit. You're really starting down here. It's starting in style and it's reading all of this before it hits a loop somewhere in a parentheses or one of these. And you're thinking about the keyboard structure, and you had 36 years to put it together. I mean, just mashing that thing for Hemingway. And that's a lot of the finishing school too. In the same way, my broken handwriting is good. We'll need Dragon software to help me speak and say for the Emperor Man in my own little golden throne. Everybody get it in Morty, Central Curve. That is just the Explorer outside. You are walking the line. It's a home, stone mill, DOT, Public Works. There it's a little different to the HTLM page. I just need every site in town. If Excel's fine, but if you can throw that up on the page for Public Works, that takes care of a lot of a big security fraud risk about the arbiter coming around, or well, like when you do the mechanic snap on or whatever big trucking, and you go through the books and you got to look at that and go, all right, I got to go to that mechanic and ask why all this fancy metal that he's ordering every week is, and the video comes around right. No bullshit. He's gonna look at you. Well, OSHA didn't, and those sons of bitches just turned around and walked away like they were. I thought so. You better love it. The Rhodes conjecture, $5,000 right there. And take $5,000 and make it a week's pay for it, right? Because you're making 4K. What is it? It's $26,000, 50 times 52, or 5,000 times 52. And then you do the trigonometry with base and height, and you're trying 2 years with that, but you don't want to overdo or underdo your volume. Yeah, board factory worker until we get laid off, and then, well, like the reason we got laid off is because you were catching 3 fucking pays in this number over here, and I'm Ben Affleck, the accountant. Of course, the reality of how hard math really is right here, and you can't time fight that. You can argue what 10,000 hours is. I mean, was it in one shop, or you one Marine over there forever? You know, the Salty, the statue they got out there behind it, it's the secret passage to the trophy for Major Payne. Well, kids need motivation. This is the Silent King's people ingrained